All right, what is up, crew? Hopefully, I didn't even check this thing. Can you guys hear us? Hi, how are you? It's been a day. I've been battling UPS in the last, literally 5 minutes ago they called, so that's why we're a little late, but it's okay. Welcome in to the weekly show. Every Tuesday night, 5 p.m. Pacific time, we'll be back on here. It's been...
I don't even know. Before Christmas, for sure.
3-ish months since we've been on a regular live, even video schedule. I've done maybe 2 or 3 uploads at all in the last 3 months. If you guys follow our Instagram, Facebook page, etc., you guys have seen like updates throughout there, but we haven't done any dedicated videos here on YouTube world. So we just pop on here, do a little live Q&A session for you guys, old school style, give you some life updates, what we've been up to. And help answer your
if anyone
questions.
cares.
If anyone cares. That's what always comes down to who actually cares. So drop a comment below. Let us know where you are watching from and if audio and video is okay. We are chilling at the house tonight because we didn't want to drag the kiddos into the office to do a live show. So you don't get the nice, pretty background, but you get real life.
Why does this camera look so funny today?
It's StreamYard.
Oh.
StreamYard does not give our camera quality the best it can.
Yeah.
So that's what we're dealing with today.
Okay. I can handle it.
Yeah. How was your day? I haven't talked to you at all. I literally rolled through the door like 4 minutes ago. I got a call from UPS. They were going to miss my scheduled pickup for like 30 boxes for FBA clients. And yeah, this would have been the second time. So I'm a little irritated at UPS right now.
Sorry.
So, yeah, I just rolled in, so I didn't even get to say hi.
It's annoying.
How was your day?
It was okay.
I saw your post on Instagram with Isla in the photo box. It was so cute.
I did not get a lot of work done though, because she was like in the actual photo box, like with drool and like. So I'm working on it. Adam is not from Hawaii. You're goofy.
I'm from Hawaii. I'm going to Hawaii. It's so fun.
All of our friends are here already.
What's up, friends? So yeah, life updates. Peggy's on. Peggy Brown.
Gretchen's here. Adam.
The fuzz is here. Better behave. Gretchen's in the house. Behave.
Yep.
I guess updates from when we were last talking on YouTube. We sometimes forget that
when were we last on
YouTube has its own audience that doesn't use Instagram or Facebook. So I feel kind of bad leaving you guys out.
We've been kind of busy though.
We've been a little on the busy side. I guess the big one, the shift in the business side was we started doing prep center work, which we've done prep center work for a couple of years, just here and there
on and off,
for specific people and clients that needed extra help. We're in a sales tax free state, which a lot of people don't realize. So when you order online arbitrage stuff and send it to our prep center, you don't pay sales tax on it. So that oftentimes balances out the fee that we charge for it. So it's a win-win. So that's been scaling really quick. That's definitely been putting in some hours on that. So that's been keeping us on the busy side.
Yep.
And then of course, keeping up on our own FBA and eBay and Facebook groups and services and all that fun stuff.
Holidays. We got the plague for like cumulative, like 4 weeks between Charles and I.
That was rough. Yeah, that was like
this year is so bad, you guys.
We were so excited. Like January 1st came around. We're like 2020, hoorah! We're gonna start off the year strong and crush these big goals. And like 3 days later, I got knocked down for like 10 days with whatever crap was going around.
Yeah.
I was on the couch for like 5 days. I got some weird throat thing where I couldn't even swallow food or even water without it hurting. So I was on a liquid diet for a few days. And then everyone was fine, and then you got hit with it
twice
until the day before we flew out.
Yeah.
Or I guess the day of, we flew out to San Antonio for a little vacation.
Yeah.
But
we probably should have canceled that, but I felt better like the second day. So
yeah, it's been a couple months. But we're completely healthy again. Yeah, we're pushing. We're pushing.
We're back at it, and we've gotten a lot of wholesale items, so I'm just trying to like keep up with that. And I think my biggest challenge right now, and I haven't even talked to you about it really.
We haven't talked this week. It's been
We've been super busy.
It's been on the busy side.
But yeah, I think my biggest struggle right now is scheduling with the kids. And I have people like, that's one of the kind of bigger questions that I get individually is how do you handle the kids with reselling? And I think I was spoiled because Titus, he's 5 now. So he's not super self-sufficient, but he plays by himself.
He entertains himself.
He can get his own snacks. For the most part, he wipes his own butt.
He still takes advantage. Mom!
That regressed a little when the baby came. But yeah, I mean, I was really spoiled. So Isla is almost 9 months.
She's more clingy than Ty was.
Yeah, well, Isla's 9 months now, and so she's mobile, super mobile. And pretty clingy now. So it's this month, I've definitely seen like a switch with her, like where I'm like, I need extra help or I need to schedule my work hours differently. So,
and this is where a big con of having a warehouse or an office space is, because when Ty was a baby, we were doing the side hustles, FBA and eBay and stuff out of the garage here. So I was home all day, every day. And so was Trista. And it was easier for us to both be here and manage Ty when he was a baby. Now that we have the office and we run the prep center, I physically need to be in the office to take care of stuff. Yeah. So I have to be away from the house a lot more. So it's a little bit more tough for me to help out with the daily stuff. But I've been getting better.
Yeah. Yeah.
Minus last week, we played catch up from taking a week off on vacation. I came back and it was just like...
That's one thing no one ever talks about.
It was prep and ship, like 10 hours a day. Yeah.
Is that when you go away on vacation and you're self-employed, even if you have we have one part-time employee who only works at the warehouse. He doesn't come here and help with any of the stuff that I've brought most of my work home by now because of Isla. So he works solely at the warehouse and does probably 90% of his work is Amazon at this point. We've pretty much phased him out of eBay work. And even with him kind of picking up the slack, however you want to say it, we still came back to loads of work that we were like, was it worth vacation? It was. I know that it was.
It was worth it.
We needed a vacation.
I chose the wrong week. The week before we went on vacation, I decided to do a little marketing push for the prep center, and we got a lot of referrals in. I did a lot of phone calls and setting new clients up the week before, not thinking like, hey, they're all going to send stuff the week that we're gone. Yeah. So I came back on Monday morning.
Literally to walls of boxes.
It was just walls of boxes, which is great. But it was like prep and ship all day, every day, all last week. This week is night and day. It's super chill, calm. Just like 2 or 3 shipments a day.
Back to our regular.
So that's where we are at.
Yeah.
We're in a good spot now.
Yeah.
How are you guys all doing?
I already see a few questions, and our peeps are in here. Adam, Gretchen.
My gosh,
Martin.
It's been so long since we've done one of these.
You guys, thanks for hanging.
This is cheers to UPS pickups not showing up on time.
I was like, I have coffee and you have not coffee.
Definitely not drinking coffee tonight. I'm pissed off at UPS.
Hey, Ed.
Business.
I saw a tax question. Taxes vary from state to state. We really love Mark from Not Your Dad's CPA.
What was the tax question?
It said...
taxes on eBay?
No. Something about Massachusetts taxes. Hello from Wisconsin. Hang on. I'm looking for
First one, right?
Taxes on eBay. How to address... Yeah.
Watch this. You can click on it.
Oh my gosh. I forgot that this does that now.
I'm going to start using this. All right. So Tim Johnston asks, taxes on eBay, how to address them in MA? That's kind of, same answer, but 2-part question. How do you deal with taxes on eBay? Talk to a CPA. Or go back and watch the episode we just did with Mark from Not Your Dad's CPA, like Trista was saying. He covers a lot of these kind of tax questions for you guys.
And you just did that like 2-ish weeks ago?
Yeah, it was two or 3 weeks ago, right before the vacation.
So it's on our channel.
And then the second half is how to address in MA, but how to address in any state. Every state is so different. So you really do have to talk to a CPA that knows what they're talking about. Because not all CPAs are going to understand our e-commerce retail business side. So Mark is who we recommend.
And we use QuickBooks. And
no, we're not paid to recommend Mark. He does not pay us on referrals. He's just somebody who we work with ourselves. So definitely recommended.
Yeah, Adam's got it.
Sorry, I don't know why I took over your trackpad. You can.
I will be scrolling this evening. Thank you, sir.
She's the scroller. I always forget. So StreamYard. What'd I miss?
Do you have any tips on how to be successful in life?
Are we successful in life? Are we the ones to give out?
I feel like we're not even qualified.
We can show you.
This is a pretty deep conversation for the first, 10 minutes?
The first 14 minutes. That's the question. I mean, this could be a whole
start on time,
6-hour episode. We can show you. I don't know if you would call it success where we're at, but it's a hot ball of mess.
I feel like, okay, so I was watching this documentary on Amazon, and it's basically like how our society has, like, we're just so focused on wealth. And then, like, at the end of the documentary, it's basically like all of these billionaires had basically, like, maybe not billionaires, millionaires had, like, basically lost their fortune. Some of them had become like they had defrauded the government, so they were, like, in jail. I would say half these people lost their fortune, and they, like, basically went back to their roots about, like, family's the most important thing, and, like, being a good person, and, like, no amount of money that you're ever going to earn will replace those things. And it was a good show to watch. Basically, be a good person.
It is funny when you think about the rabbit trail of that.
Yeah.
So many people try to, you start out like your youth, your teens, maybe early 20s, so much time is around your family in those years. And then you start to chase get the right job, get the wife, get the husband, get the house, get the kids, chasing success, right? Yeah. The typical bubble that everyone puts it in. You spend so many years chasing all of that to only retire and then want to retire to spend more time with your family. It's like you should have been doing that shit the whole time.
Yeah. Well, and it just comes down to, like, knowing why you're doing any of this to begin with, and what you say is your why and what really is your why. I think people don't really, they say, like, oh, I want to spend more time with my kids, or, I just want to retire my husband. And really what some people are striving for is that level of success. And so you just have to define what that level of success really is to you. Level of success is that we don't have corporate jobs anymore. And we're not millionaires. We're not $1 million sellers. And I feel like we're successful.
I'm happy as shit, so that counts.
Except for when UPS.
Except for when UPS misses my pickups, then I get pissed. You can be happy and still a little pissed off sometimes.
Yeah, sure.
It's totally fine.
Yeah.
It's funny you brought that up, because I almost went on a tangent today on Instagram and I didn't. And I feel like it could have been really good content. But the tangent was along the same lines of, people trying to chase success. And they're always like, if you sat down and asked them, what are your values? What are your priorities in life? They would be like, my health, my family's important. I want to lose weight. Like, I want to be a good person. I want to grow mentally strong. But if you then look at their daily actions that they're doing, their habits would point you in other directions. And that was going to be the whole tangent I was going to do. Maybe I'll do a YouTube video on it. But point being, it's like, you can't just sit up here and say, especially this time of year, the beginning of the year, everyone's setting these goals and resolutions. Great. But if I look at your daily schedule that you follow, your habits that you're doing, whether they're good or bad, I can tell you what your result will be in a year, right? If you're doing small little improvements day by day, you're going to be in a really, really great place a year from now. But if you're doing bad habits or, like, declining just slightly or even maintaining day by day, probably going to be in the same or worse place a year from now. That's what it all comes down to. It's funny you brought that up because that was literally like on my mind.
I haven't seen you all day,
that
but
was on my mind today.
Our brains are in the same spot. Hugo and Tiffany are on. Hey guys.
What's up?
They are
ship quick, sell quick, dip, quick ship, quick,
sell quick,
quick ship, quick sell.
Ooh, hush your face. Shell quit. I can't do it, you guys. I can't do it.
Yes.
I love you, but I can't do it.
Oh my
Sell
gosh.
quick, ship quick.
I'm so happy you guys chose that name.
Damn it.
It's so fun.
All right.
Quick flip ship quick.
We're glad you're here, whoever you are. I just call them Hugo and Tiffany. It's much easier.
Tifugo.
Tifugo.
Or Hiffany. Hold on, I had a Hiffany.
You're ridiculous.
I haven't sat down once today. I'm so tired.
Oh my goodness.
Welcome back to the Side Hustle Network show. This is what you guys get.
I like Tifugo.
I'm gonna start calling that Squisque.
What?
Squisque. SQ.
All right.
Super chat.
Heidi has an actual.
Oh my gosh, that was so funny.
The super chat.
I completely forgot about that. Martin remembered it. The super chat. Oh my gosh, that was forever ago.
That was a while ago.
That was so great.
Okay, let's move on. Heidi has an actual question.
Oh, hi Heidi. Are we actually gonna work tonight?
Yes.
Okay,
get to work.
Let's do this.
I'm trying to figure out how to list my first Amazon listing, and I'm so confused. Can someone please explain?
My question is, are you creating your first listing or trying to do your first FBA shipment where you use someone else's listing to kind of piggyback on? I need a smidgen bit more information.
A smidgen bit. We're just nailing the vocabulary tonight.
So tired today for some reason. The whole UPS thing put me in a weird funk.
Hi, I'm in Oregon and I need help.
Heidi's in Oregon. Which part?
Oh man.
And then I've got the Facebook tab open on my phone because for some reason, if you don't grant StreamYard access, like permission, it doesn't show Facebook names on here. But we got some questions in here. One of them was Eric Carrillo. I haven't seen that name in a while. One question, what kind of mic are you using? I'm using a Blue Yeti. This specific one I found on Facebook Marketplace for $40. I was going to flip it because they sell for about 80 to 90, but it's been super convenient to have one at the house and then we have one at the office because I used to just bring them back and forth because sometimes we do shows here at the house if we have both kids and they're just being monsters. We don't want to drag them out to the office. So
and Isla puts everything in her mouth.
She's to the eating everything phase, so that's a little different at the warehouse is not
styrofoam
clean.
At the warehouse last week, and you put her down for like a second.
Literally, I set her down. I reached for something on the table, and then went to pick her back up, and she had styrofoam. She was munching on it.
I'm not gonna tell anyone that we're perfect parents because apparently we're not.
Welcome to the non-perfect show.
Yeah,
where we give you all of our life secrets to doing life imperfectly.
Heidi's in Beaverton. Hi,
oh, that's awesome.
Beaverton. New listing of her own.
New listing of your own. So there's, I'm sure you've looked on YouTube if you haven't, because there are videos that show you how to create listings. You need to keep them super basic. It's almost the same process as creating an eBay listing if you've done that, where you fill in your title, you can do your description and your bullet points, back end keywords you can put into there. So keep it very, very simple. And my follow-up question is, are you uploading a wholesale item or are you doing private label? This is your first private label listing. Because the listing creation, and especially when you get into the keywords, that can get pretty in depth. But I would definitely do some research around YouTube. There's been some videos that we've seen that are fairly well. I don't create a lot of listings myself. I do a lot more of the FBA side. I don't do a lot of listing creation. Sometimes I'll do bundles and multi-packs and stuff like that, but I keep the listings super, super basic. I'm probably not the one to ask for the detailed stuff, unfortunately. Oh, okay, wholesale. The other thing I would do too is obviously don't give away your ASINs and your brands here on public. But I would look at the brand. If you have a specific item you were trying to create a listing on, I would then go to the brand website and you can see all the info you need to grab and pull from there. Two, I would also look at if the brand has other products on Amazon and see how those listings are created, just to kind of give you an idea. But aside from like your photos, your titles, your description, a few keywords on the back end, that's all you need to start. Obviously, you got to put in your item description stuff. So you got to put in, how much does it weigh, dimensions, that kind of stuff. But yeah, keep it super basic to begin with. You just need to get the listing up to start with, and you can keep optimizing it as you learn more. What's the next one?
We have another tax question, and I'm just going to refer you back to the video we did with Mark, Not Your Dad's CPA. It's in our channel, and he's got some good tips. Basically, the question on here is about when Amazon collects and pays state taxes for you, do you count that as income and deduct it later? We don't know because we don't have a... I
pay a guy. Yeah. I pay our CPA to
we
know
pay our
that.
CPA to know that. We also don't have sales tax in Oregon. So we're not going to be able to give you good information. And also, we don't give tax information. We are not qualified to do that.
Next question was by Steve in the Facebook group, and he asked, "Good evening, fairly new to FBA, under a year. Is it normal to be ungated? Does that mean that you're ungated just in everything automatically?" A little more info on that one.
It keeps saying Facebook user, so I think that you can read those. They're right here.
I know, but I'm looking at who.
Oh, okay, got it.
Because StreamYard has to like sync up with the Facebook group.
Okay.
So these guys have to give user permissions basically.
Okay.
To show their info. So that's why I always just pull that up.
Okay. Oh, anyway, speaking
of... which do you prefer? Amazon or eBay? This is a question for the chat as well.
Yeah.
What do you prefer?
So when we started,
can we throw in Poshmark too?
Yeah.
Because that's becoming like the third wheel to our. Mm-hmm. We have four.
It's our threesome.
Foursome, technically. We'll give. I know we have some new subscribers, new viewers here, so welcome in. Comment below if this is your first time watching a live show, by the way. So we have four basically pillars to our reselling business. We have Amazon FBA, we have eBay, Poshmark, and local selling. And they're pretty evenly split. Everyone's like, which one do you do more of?
Depends on the month.
It depends on the month. Like our personal FBA account is just down tremendously right now because I've been focusing primarily on the prep center. I've been shipping everyone else's stuff and I haven't had time to go source my own stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm getting more into OA because of that reason. I can't go on RA as much as I used to, as much as I do love it. But so I'm doing more OA myself. Just got some of my own orders put in for the first time in a while. So it feels good to get back in there. But yeah, those are kind of like the four pillars. Which one do you like best? They each have pros and cons.
Yeah.
By the way.
I don't know what's
like
my favorite.
We should do a series on the pros and cons of
all these platforms that we sell on. I feel like even though it's like the ugly stepchild right now, eBay is my favorite still. I know. If I didn't have to share my closet a billion times a day, Poshmark would win hands down.
I would do Poshmark in that case.
But
I just hate the sitting down and like share.
Sharing is a lot.
I don't got time for that.
But I do love on Poshmark that customers can't return items if they don't fit. So
and the shipping is a lot easier too.
Yeah.
Because all the shipping labels are pre-done.
Right.
So it's just click and print. Click and print. You don't put in dimensions.
Right.
And all that.
So I feel like the actual selling is so much easier on Poshmark. Also, they've got it figured out. Like you don't have a billion check boxes on Poshmark. There's less than a dozen, I think. I haven't really counted, but it's a lot easier. I can get a Poshmark listing done way faster than the eBay ones, but I am still making more consistent daily sales on eBay than I am on my Poshmark account. So it's hard, but avoiding those returns are really nice, especially when selling used clothing and shoes. I'm really picky about what we sell. I told you about this. I got one negative review on my Poshmark.
Oh my gosh, you were in such a bad mood.
I was so mad.
And it's not a public review. No one can
see it.
Only you can.
It only hurt my feelings. But my feelings were hurt,
because you
guys.
knew it wasn't true.
Because it wasn't true. And she was just so not nice. I mailed this lady a pair of sorrel boots. They were perfect. They had never been worn. They were perfect.
Beautiful.
They were beautiful shoes. They had like the leather looked like a worn kind of leather, though. That's the way the boot is made. And she wrote on there, shoes were very dirty, disappointed.
And you were in such a bad
I was so mad. Okay, Sheila. Well, they weren't dirty. Anyway, I'm sorry. I apologize to any Sheilas out there. It was just the first name that came to my head. Anyway, but yeah, so Poshmark is nice.
So eBay.
eBay is kind of my favorite right now, even though I don't know.
eBay's going through some stuff.
They're always the ugly stepchild.
Don't scroll down. We're not done with the question.
Handle. There's a lot of questions. Why you said I could scroll?
I know, but we gotta finish the question before moving on.
This is actual
real life right now.
This is real.
I have two answers. My favorite platform to sell on, as far as efficiency and scalability, hands down Amazon FBA. The fact that you can take 500 items and send them all to Amazon, and then you just have to kind of like toggle with your pricing stuff.
Right.
That's great. I don't have to deal with customers. I don't have to ship the stuff myself. That's my favorite part. That's probably my ultimate favorite platform because of the potential that it has and the efficiency.
That's what I was going to say. So when we first started, we both started on Amazon. Charles was full, like gung-ho Amazon.
I never thought I would ever do eBay.
He hated it. And I did most of it. I still do most of it.
Who does the daily shipping?
You do, but I do everything else.
You do the photos and listing and all that. I do the daily shipping.
So we started on Amazon. That was where I first got my like feet in the water, whatever. And then I kind of transitioned onto eBay as we were getting like customer returns and finding things in thrift stores and whatever. So with having the prep center, I've been jumping in and helping Charles a lot more and Ryan, and
she had to learn how to do FBA again because it's been like 3 years since you've done it.
It's like riding a bike though. I was like, oh yeah, I remember all of this.
She did.
Super easy.
She did. I'll keep her around.
I did more than
you can show up for a shift tomorrow.
I did good. But I was like, dang, this is so much easier. Why?
Yeah, it's like you throw stuff in poly bags and throw a label on it, and then it's good to go. Like you send it off. So that's my answer is Amazon FBA because of the efficiency and the potential to scale. As far as just pure fun, nothing beats the high of going to a garage sale, finding some vintage something or like electronic for a couple bucks that you can sell for a few hundred. So that's where eBay takes as far as like just the pure hobby and fun part of it, it's hands down eBay.
Yeah.
I mean, I've sold when I sold my Ninja Turtles for $900. Like who?
I'm glad somebody.
I can't. Or like you went to, I sent Trista out to a store about an hour away for a specific item. And while she was there, she popped into the Goodwill next to it. And you found a ScanSnap Fujitsu scanner for $15.
Oh, snap.
Oh my gosh. Very few people will understand, but
Oh, snap.
When you got home, we listed it. It was up for 2 or 3 days, and it sold for, what was it?
It
was
something.
680 or 700.
Yeah, something like that.
Like, you can't do that on Amazon.
I think I paid
typically
10 or 15. I can't remember.
It was 15. It was $14.99.
That's a fun thing. Yeah.
Like,
you're right.
You can't replicate that feeling. Like, I would have to sell 40, 50, 60 items sometimes on Amazon to make those type of margins, as far as the total dollar profit made. Mm-hmm. So that's where it's like, I have a split answer depending, like pure fun and hobby and like the passion of reselling is eBay.
You have to be a treasure hunter though. Like if you just want to see the money, or if you just want to see the numbers, the daily sales or the monthly overall, obviously Amazon is, good for that.
Yeah.
But if you're a treasure hunter, I mean, like Charles said, there's nothing that beats like, oh, I killed it today.
Yeah, no, I've gotten so much shit over the years because we've been in this for 4.5 years. We have a large YouTube channel, like all this kind of stuff. And I've had some fairly large sellers that pretty much straight up tell me like, why are you not doing Amazon full time? Why don't you just focus on that and nothing else? Because you can make so much more money. And they don't understand it's not about the money for us. Like, yeah, we need to have our bills paid and our overhead and all that stuff. But the treasure hunter high.
It's fun.
I've said it since day one, and I'll say it again. We will be 7-figure sellers. That's not a hesitation at all. But even when we're 7-figure sellers and doing all the efficient stuff, I'm still going to be going to garage sales and Goodwills because I freaking love it. The treasure hunter high you can't beat. And if you have it, you have it and you get that.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of people who are just like, Goodwill? Like, ew. Why would you go walk around Goodwill for an hour to maybe make $50? And if you're not a treasure hunter, you'll never understand.
Get it. Let's move on.
Okay. We gotta, how do we take the question off?
Dude.
I think it's highlighted.
Oh, there it is.
Boom. All right.
But now you lost my place. It's okay. I got it. Don't worry. Don't worry your pretty little mind.
Didn't you guys miss having us both on camera together? It's always like one or the other. And the interactions that we get, they're priceless.
Priceless. There's a lot of people just saying back and forth what it seems like it's even split eBay or Amazon. Yeah, Ellen, that's a good observation or point. You should sell on at least 2 platforms. That way, if one has slow sales, the other one will help with that. We are always big advocates of diversifying your income. And that's part of it.
I mean, look at our channel name. It's Side Hustle Network. Like, this isn't full-time one thing. Everyone's like, when did you go full-time Amazon? Like, we've never been full-time Amazon, never claimed to be. We're multiple side hustles that make up our full-time income. But yeah, multiple, especially lately, like I've talked to so many people, especially people like we know personally that are sellers and like we've become good friends. We've talked to so many people lately. They're like, yeah, I got suspended out of nowhere and from Amazon and they can't get back in. Like that's a prime example of why we'll never put our eggs in one basket. Like, we'll continue to focus and grow Amazon and eBay and all these platforms, but we will never be full-time just Amazon or just eBay or even just Poshmark. There's so much out of your control. You don't own the platform. Mm-hmm. They can change policies. They can cut you off. They can suspend you, IP claims, like all these little things can add up and ruin it as far as your income goes. So that's why we're constantly in our own business over the last few years, and we're constantly teaching and preaching it now. Diversify your income. You've got to get smart with that, because I hate getting those messages or talking to people where they're like, yeah, I was full-time Amazon, then I got suspended and they lost all their income.
Man, you're a downer tonight.
I'm sorry,
Jeez.
But it's true. Like recently at a meetup, we had somebody like that's one of our VIP members, and they gave us the story about how they were suspended for several months. And
they did just recently get
reinstated, which is great. But there were several months, and they have small children And it's like, as parents, you feel for them. Like when that income is just cut, it's very scary. So I believe we do multiple side hustles primarily out of fear more than anything.
Fear is a good motivator.
It's fear and lack of trust. I don't trust Amazon. I don't trust eBay. I don't trust any of the online platforms because we don't own them. We don't own the customers. We don't own the rights to anything. We're fortunate and so blessed to be able to even sell.
I think you mean the products, not the customers. We don't own the We don't own the products.
No, we own the products that we sell on there. We don't own the customers. Like the customers
customer base.
Yeah, the customer base is what I'm saying. Like the customers are brought to us with the marketing that they do because they have multi-million-dollar marketing budgets.
Like we don't.
If we started our own little Shopify store and like, oh, we're going to make this work. Like, how come no one's buying like they do on eBay? Like we have to put up $1 million in revenue or not revenue, marketing campaigns to make that happen.
Yeah. Okay. We're going to keep moving, you guys. Sorry. We're going off on all these tangents.
You guys had to have at least one.
I'm so sorry.
You had to have at least one.
Okay. Would you recommend selling Nike and Adidas on eBay? Yeah, we do that all the time.
Go for it.
Do it.
Actually, my follow-up question. Do you like to make money? Do it.
Adam, what is one thing each of you do every day for some me time to keep your sanity, keep the answer and your shoes clean?
That's hilarious. Mine's a gym in the morning.
Yeah,
hands down.
Gym. Like you.
I don't go to the gym because I want to get like huge and buff and six pack and all that. It literally is my therapy to get quiet time to myself, earbuds in, music blasting, and just move my body. I've got a bunch of back and shoulder shit that goes on. Like I've got scoliosis and impingements and all this kind of stuff from doing massage therapy for so many years. And if I don't move my body on a daily basis, I get really bad back pain to the extent like I can't pick up my kids on some days where it's really flared up, and that sucks. So for me, it's just the gym, both on a physical and a mental level.
Mostly mental.
He
gets a little cranky.
I get cranky.
I'm like, please go to the gym.
I do. It's not like I'm going and like throwing the weights around.
He's like, I don't have to go to the gym. I can stay here and whatever, be with the kids while you do whatever. I'm like, please go to the gym. I go
a little stir crazy.
Yeah.
But for me, it's just, I feel good when I move my body. So I just, that's mine.
I don't do anything. I drink coffee.
That's true.
This is a bad problem. And okay, so I got a new calendar for 2020. It's making me be really structured. And I'm sticking with it, which is shocking for me. But I usually have these great grand plans for calendars or for scheduling or planning. And then after about, 2 weeks, I'm like, I kind of forgot about that.
Like most humans?
Yeah. So one of the columns in here is like me time or, whatever they call it. And I realized at the beginning of the year, I don't do anything for myself, ever. I have to force you to leave the house to do anything. I go sourcing once a week by myself for 8 hours, an 8-hour day of just thrifting by myself. And that's probably my me time, which is nice. I love what I do. I get to do fun things. You need daily you time. So Charles has been pushing me to start going to yoga again. I have to come home and be like, I got the kids, you leave. I don't care where you go. Just leave. Go do something. I don't care what it is. Right. So yoga is starting back up. I'm going to be so bad at it. We should do the hot yoga. So bad. I'd probably die if I did hot yoga right now. Literally will kick your ass. It feels amazing, but it also is so hard. I'm not talking to her, by the way. I'm saying in general, yoga will kick your ass. Yeah. We used to go pretty often. It was every week, but we both enjoyed it. It was something else. I'll tell you that. Yoga's no joke. I used to do Pilates a lot, and Charles would try to keep up with me. I do the typical husband thing, but then I would try it and I would die. He's like, you can't hold that position for that long.
How do you
it's
keep your leg up like that for so long? I'm like,
shaking.
That's the worst. Like when you have to hold one of those stupid positions and your whole body is just like vibrating. It's so weird.
All right, so that's my thing. And Adam, you can keep me accountable. I'm going to yoga. Tomorrow morning's my first day.
Wait, where are you going?
To Four Elements.
What are we doing with the kids?
You have the kids.
Okay, we haven't talked today, so I didn't.
Today. Usually we do a powwow at the end of the day. Like, so what's going on tomorrow?
What time does it start?
8:30.
Well, it's perfect. I'll drop Ty off at school. I'll take Isla.
Yeah. Okay,
done. You guys get to hear behind the scenes now. It's
sorry.
Welcome to a family hustle.
Okay. Michael is on.
Michael, got to see this guy a couple weeks back.
Yeah.
Has it been almost 2 weeks now since we were down there?
Almost, yeah. Down in that San Antonio. Doing enough volume now on Amazon that I will need a repricer. Been doing research. Most of them don't live up to the hype. What are your recommendations, Charles Leslie?
Recommendation would be one of our partners, which is Go Aura, would be hands down our recommendation. If you guys need a link, check out the description below because they get, 20% off for your first 2 months, if I remember right. I should probably have that memorized. 20% off for X amount of months. So you check out the link in the description, or you can always message us. And the thing with repricers too, like any software, it's almost like anything. Like you could do all the research you want, but until you just sync it up and start it and try it for a couple weeks, then make an educated decision what you need.
Okay, I'm going to fly through some of these questions just because we're getting kind of backed up. How often do you guys go sourcing? I go once a week for 8 hours for all of my secondhand stuff like clothing and some hard goods. Charles tries to go at least twice a week, but you also do OA. So
yeah, I've been getting more into OA again, so I don't have to leave the house and like go do stuff. Especially right now, we have so many prep client products coming in and out. It's just myself and my employee Ryan. They're doing a lot of the shipping. So until I can scale that to a point where I don't have to do the hands-on shipping myself as much, that's when I can get back out and do more RA. But for now, guaranteed once a week, I'll be gone. And I'm gone all day. Those are 12-hour days. I don't hit 5 or 6 stores. I'm gone. I'm hitting 10, 15 stores.
Yeah. So we live in a rural area. So to get to the nearest Target is a 40-minute drive. So once we go out, it's not like, oh, I'll just go to 1 or 2 Targets because I have an extra hour.
Yeah, no.
If we're going out for the day. It's not time effective to just go to 1 or 2 stores if we've spent the first hour driving. And, by the time we are headed home, we're going to get stuck in traffic anyway. So we might as well just keep working.
Yeah.
Do you do auction or buy it now? I would say 99% is buy it now. I will run an auction on stale inventory probably once a quarter, I would say. Actually, I need to do that.
You haven't done one in a while.
I haven't done one in probably 4 or 5 months.
Those are nice to do because every time you do one, it brings in, there's always a spike of sales afterwards because it just brings in a whole wave of fresh eyeballs. And I feel like that triggers like the algorithm. Yeah.
It definitely bumps you up. I don't know how it all works, to be honest. And it's aside from seeing those sales come in and they're going to be lower sales than what you were asking for your buy it now, but just getting that inventory out and not having to look at it anymore is really nice. So
pretty nice.
I would say if you've got some stale inventory, definitely run an auction and get rid of it. Bump your store up a little bit. Okay, this is interesting. How to best resuscitate an eBay account if it's been idle with a little to no sales for the last 9 to 12 months. Exactly what I said. Run crazy sales, do promotions, do auctions, just change it up. After a while, your stuff just keeps getting bumped down and down and down in the feed. Do we call it a feed? It's in the pages. Like if you search purple whistle, you're gonna get like
Where did you come up with purple whistle?
I don't know. Okay.
That's the most random thing
I don't know.
I think I have ever heard.
But if you search purple whistle, you'll probably come up with like 1 page, probably. But if you search purple shoes, you're gonna come up with like 20,000 pages. And as people are making more listings, yours go down and down and down in the pages. So changing the listing, just kind of like it, you always call it like what do you call it? Like disrupting it, or like, I don't know, irritating the algorithm or something. I don't know. It helps. I don't know why.
And get more listings up.
Most
people that we
relist
talk to,
what you have.
Yes, that's a great tip that we implemented. I don't even know, it was like this last summer we heard that tip and started implementing that. But
yeah,
go through and just take like 5 listings a day, unlist them, and you can hit sell one like this and basically just relist it, and that gives it a whole fresh algorithm boost. So that's another really good tip too. But a lot of people we talk to, they're like, oh, I'm having a really hard time with eBay sales. They've only got like 30, 40, 50 listings up. You've got to try to get more than that up. Now, if you can only keep 50 up because you're selling through so fast, that's great. But most people don't have many listings up that are struggling. So I would really shoot for like 100, 250, 500 listings. Just make that a weekly goal to work towards. Were you thinking of like whistles, or like that was just chilling in the back of your mind waiting for the right moment to come out?
I don't know.
Purple whistles.
I'm kids. I don't know.
That's the most random thing I've ever heard.
Hey, Marcelo just sold his first product on eBay yesterday.
Yeah, congrats. Woo! Now do it again tomorrow.
Yeah, Adam, coffee and yoga. Well, sort of the yoga.
Gretchen said, scroll up one.
Meh.
We should start a yoga accountability. She just started back last week.
Oh no, this is real accountability. It's not
everyone
fake.
Here. I will give out her cell phone number. Everyone here, text
Gretchen
her.
has my phone number.
Text her at 8:30 a.m. tomorrow, Pacific time, not East Coast. We'll be sleeping. Well, I'll be awake. You'll be sleeping.
Yeah.
I've been on the 5 a.m. grind lately. Feeling pretty good about
it. Martin is talking to someone about PayPal jail.
What do we miss?
I don't know. I can't. We were reading.
Oh, I think that's in reference to resuscitating an old eBay account. Yeah, because if PayPal sees a spike all of a sudden in sales,
yeah, that makes sense.
PayPal jail is just where they put a hold on your funds
for 21 days, I think. Is it?
I don't know what it's like after. I know as a new PayPal account, it'll be 21 days. I've never gone through one of those holds, so I don't know if it's like a week or 3 weeks or what. Oh my gosh. She can text you at her 6 a.m. class. That's
no,
3
thank you.
in the morning.
If you text me at 3 in the morning, I will block you, lady.
Oh man.
Yeah. What is PayPal jail? Basically that. They give you your money eventually.
They just hold
just
on
a hold.
It.
Yeah. Do you have any tips for beginners? That is a super broad question. So beginning Amazon, beginning eBay, beginning life, riding a bike, blowing a purple whistle. Be a little more specific and we can help you out maybe. Is there eBay fulfillment? Not really.
Ooh, so
there is concierge.
They've got fulfillment.
Yeah. We have never used eBay concierge, so valet concierge is.
I was trying to think because concierge is the like private phone line.
Yeah.
eBay. I haven't heard about valet in a while. They've had it up for a while. I've not heard good things, but then again, we've never tried it. As a prep center, we've had multiple clients ask us if we would do eBay fulfillment, where you basically order product and send it to us, we'll hold it and list it. You can create the listing and all that. We'll just have the product and we'll ship it when it sells. That's something we may think about implementing in the future, but not for now. It's just not smart as far as like an efficiency standpoint and space. We need to have a lot of storage space. So for now, we don't personally offer it. Might come down the road. We'll see. We got to do a lot of testing and get data on that first. But I don't personally know of any other prep centers that do that. I know there's a lot of third-party logistics companies that will offer. It's called Pick and Pack. It's basically the same service where they'll store product and ship it for you. I'm just not familiar with the eBay side of people doing it.
Yeah. Oh, thanks, Amy.
Thanks for being here.
We like being here too.
And we're back.
We're back.
Yeah, if you guys have any questions, we got a few minutes left, so drop those below.
On long sourcing days, best food snacks to take with you that don't make you tired.
Easy. Intermittent fast until about 2 p.m. and then eat Chipotle. No rice. I can tell you my exact order every sourcing day.
Every time.
It's going to be a Chipotle bowl with no rice. You do black beans and you'll do double meat, 1 scoop, 1 steak, and you put on the veggies, put on the guac, and you're good to go.
Yep.
That's my personal. If you guys can get intermittent fasting under your belt, by the way, that's like it's a health tip, but it's also, it correlates to your business because intermittent fasting, you will have more energy than you'll know what to do with. It takes time. It took me probably 3 months of being consistent with it until I was able to like have the energy people talk about. But I don't eat until 1 or 2 o'clock nearly every single day.
Yeah.
And it's really, really nice to not even need to think about food. And I feel great. About 2 o'clock, I start to get really hungry and start to get that lethargic. But once I eat, I'm completely fine. But as far as, I don't take any snacks or anything with me. It's always Chipotle at about 1 or 2 o'clock after fasting.
I do intermittent fasting, but I also have coffee. So I usually drink coffee until, I'll have a cup of coffee and then I don't eat until like 1. And then we do like power bars and protein bars. And
if you're looking for like actual snacks,
we're not very good people to ask.
It's going to be the typical healthy snack foods that you guys hear about. It's going to be like,
almonds,
string cheese, almonds, protein bars.
I like those little hummus cups. Those are good.
Those are actually pretty good.
What else? You eat tons of jerky.
I eat a lot of jerky. Between me and Ryan, the LaCroix. Well, now we switched over. We're drinking bubbly is the name now.
Yeah.
Between the bubbly and the jerky, I probably I don't even know.
I don't want to know.
I should. Luckily, the business pays for it because they're office snacks. Is our CPA watching this?
Mark about that. I don't know if that.
They're office snacks, okay? They're tax write-offs. But I probably spend a couple $100 a month just on like office snacks between me and Ryan.
Ryan is a 17-year-old boy and he eats like a 17-year-old boy.
And I just like to eat, so.
Yeah. Okay. I'm working on it. Richard from Michigan. Any stores closing down by you? Not that I've heard of.
There's always like small mom and pop type shops closing down, but not any major. The whole like Kmart thing. We had a Kmart that closed down late, and that was only like 6 months ago.
Yeah.
I missed that one. There was a local grocery store up here that closed down I missed, which I'm kind of bummed about because there could have been some really good deals in there.
How do you get to the page that shows how many people are watching a product? So on eBay, it will show you on your listing how many watchers you have. And then I don't know what you're talking about. That's probably the page they're referring to. Okay. Yeah, just go on the listing. It will show you how many people are watching. It will show you how many views you've had on that listing. Tips for beginners on both Amazon and eBay.
So many ways you can go with that.
I don't even know where to start. So start with eBay. Don't buy anything. Don't go to stores. Go through your house. Get rid of the stuff in your house that you don't use. Electronics, clothing, shoes. Just start there. Learn how to build a listing, how to take decent photos. Do tons of research. We can't possibly give you all the information you need in the next 15 minutes to get started on any of these platforms, but there's so much free information. It like blows my mind.
We didn't have any of this shit when we started.
I mean, eBay, yes, but not Amazon.
No.
Amazon was pretty like, it was still
like, I watched a few rake-in videos.
Yeah.
And then I decided let's start our own channel since no one else is really talking about the Amazon side. So we were the first ones to come in and really talk about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we didn't have we had like 25% of the information available that you guys do now.
Yeah.
So there's so much out there.
Okay. And then for Amazon, download the Sellers app and go scan books.
Books
for like
are a great starting point.
2 months, maybe not 2 months. Start with 2 weeks, I guess. I don't know.
And with books, we usually recommend books because you're not going to deal with restrictions the same way you do with other brands like toy category and stuff like that. And then the second one is go do resale arbitrage and online arbitrage. You're going to run into being gated in a lot of things. Like most of the stuff you scan is going to be restricted. Find the brands that you are not restricted in and focus on those. Get some sales under your belt because after about 6 months, and there's no, exact number or exact length, but in general, we found that if you sell for about 6 months and get some sales under your belt, you then can apply to get auto approved in some of these brands. And if you want to not wait that long for the auto approval, do it the legitimate way that Amazon is asking you to do it, which is find a wholesale distributor that carries that brand, order some products that have an ASIN on Amazon, order at least 10 units of that, and then you can use that invoice to get approved. People make it out to be way more difficult than it needs to be.
How long to get
call Jack Links and get a wholesale price list? We old trapper over here. That's the only jerky.
Are you a jerky snob?
We've become jerky snobs. Ryan and I have tried other brands. We do not like them. Even Jack Links, I used to think it was so good, and I had old trapper, and it took over. And I found that Walmart has the best prices: $10 for a 10-ounce bag. Wait, not 10 ounce. Yeah, 10-ounce bag, and which is expensive still. But if you go to like Albertsons or even Winco, it's like $12, $13, $14 a bag over there.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, Old Trapper is the brand I need to go wholesale account with, not to sell this stuff, just so we can use it for personal.
Yeah. Used books are a good item to learn Amazon platform. Yeah. The barrier to entry is super low. Like, you can go into a thrift store depending on what part of the country you're in, but we can go into a thrift store and find books for anywhere from $1 to $4. And they can have crazy returns or decent returns depending on what the book is. I would say don't pass up on religious books, textbooks, obviously. What other good books? I don't know.
Textbooks
are the best, but religious books are good.
Yeah, and anything nonfiction really is what to focus on. Textbooks, you're going to have basically 4 mini seasons pop up like Q4, and it's when semester is getting ready to start for students. So if you get in and know how to read a Keepa chart, and that's probably my number one tip for Amazon, is just learn how to read a Keepa chart. So many free videos out there. You don't need to pay anyone to learn that stuff. So Keepa is going to show you the whole history of a product, and especially books. You can see when those spikes will happen and make your decisions off of that. But there's so many books out there you can buy. Like I went to Goodwill and bought one for $4.99. I held on to it for probably 8 months or so, and I had to wait till Amazon got off the listing. And when they got off the listing, I sold it for $300. It was a crappy used condition one too, and Amazon was on the listing for $600 new. I don't remember what the book was. I should look that up. But
okay, so that's another good point to make though. With books, you're not going to be turning these quickly. It's not a 30 to 60 day turnaround. they're long tail. They won't sell in 60 days, but they will sell, you know, depending on, when we were in books, we wanted to stay under, I think, 1 million. The rank was under 1 million. We would buy it if, you know, all of the numbers were there. But
in general, there's always
learning ranks in categories is so important. So books, 1 million in books is not like terrible. I mean, I guess some people would say that might be too high for them, but 1 million in clothing, you would not even want to touch, right?
It depends. If like this is getting into more.
See, you're like, it depends. I'd be like, no.
This is getting more into like, you know, slight like intermediate level stuff. Is and that's a whole nother show we probably should do too. Is when to buy. When is it okay to buy high ranked items or bad ranked items? If I saw something that's ranked 1 million, which we've sold, one case I can think of off the top of my head is went into Target and did some scanning. This was a couple of years ago.
Be back.
The baby's crying. So went into Target and started scanning some toys, and I found a toy that was ranked 800,000, which is what most people would consider horrible, and they would just they would put it down, walk by it. I asked, why is it ranked so bad? Is it the price? Is it that there's no FBA sellers? What's the history of this? I looked at Keep and I saw that there was one seller who had this thing priced, and I'll never forget it was $8.99 to buy it. And it was this big Barbie set. $8.99 to buy this thing. Ranked 800,000. There was one seller for $90. No wonder why it's not selling. And I looked at the history, and there has not been an FBA seller, which means you now are prime. There was no FBA sellers on this item for over 6 months. So I bought the 2 that they had. I would have bought more, but I bought the 2 that they had because there's an opportunity. I'm going to sell it at a better price, right? It's all about the value you can add as a seller. So I'm going to sell it at a better price. I'm going to sell it prime because I'm going to be the only FBA seller. And I sent the 2 in. I sold them both in under 2 weeks for about $75. So most people would scan that and run by it because it's just a horrible rank. I'm going to ask why. Now, if you've got a product where it's a bad rank and you've got multiple FBA sellers, multiple FBM sellers, and it's still just not selling for some reason, that's when I'm probably going to pass. But if there's an opportunity where there's no FBA, maybe I can improve the pricing a little bit. Maybe I can run a little bit of PPC. There's things you can do and look at. They're going to help make you make that flip happen. What's up, little girl? How you doing? Are you awake now? Say what's up. Hey.
She was mad.
She just looked at the microphone like, what is this contraption? Is that a good cookie?
All right, you guys, we're going to have to get going. Last minute questions. Jennifer, I saw your question. So I have done a couple of ThreadUp boxes by now. I'm still learning the ropes. I know that you can go in and reprice once they've processed your box, and kind of they'll assign prices. You can go in and reprice things. I haven't messed around too much with it. So far, though, I like that I don't have to do anything. You literally put your stuff in a box with a label, and then
it's like FBA for used clothing.
Yeah, it's like FBA for clothing. The return is much smaller than if you were doing the work, but you're not doing anything beyond buying it, washing it, and throwing it in a bag. So I like it so far. I go to the bins and I pick up stuff for $1.30 a pound, like $1.29, I think. I'm not gonna lose much if I don't sell that item for much money. I'm still learning. I'll keep you posted as I learn, but so far I like it. I would do a little plug for Melissa at Vandy's Closet. She's also on YouTube. VANDIS Closet. She sells on she sells on Poshmark and eBay and ThreadUp. She is doing insanely well on ThreadUp. She's got a lot of good content so far. So go show her some love.
We will link in the description.
Out her YouTube.
So click on that and go check her out.
How
long should I wait after verification on Amazon seller? They say wait for 2 business days, been 3 days. I've heard of people waiting, 3 to 5 days. If after 5 days I haven't gotten back to you and approved you, I would then shoot them an email. But I've definitely heard 3 to 5 days is average.
Best to stick to one category on eBay or have different range of different items?
Ooh, the debate, the never-ending debate. This can go both ways, and there's no one right answer.
Yeah. I feel like you should learn your niche, figure out what you're selling and what to pick up. And there's a lot of mistakes that you make as a brand new reseller. So brands that I picked up in the first year of reselling, I would definitely not pick up now. And that knowledge comes over a lot of trial and error and consuming as much content as you possibly can. But you aren't really going to be fine-tuned in that one category until you just do the time. So I would say if you're brand new on eBay and starting out, pick a niche and really learn it. But that being said, if you're in a thrift store and if you only sell clothing and you find vintage Pyrex that you can sell for $80, but you're like, oh, that's out of my category, buy it. Because money is money. I'm not saying don't make money, obviously, but just learn your lane first before you are branching out into all of these other categories, because you're going to lose less money that way. You're going to make your time count, I feel like, a little better because you're focused on what you're doing. So
that would basically be my answer too, is when I first got into the eBay side, it's hard to walk into a thrift store of any kind or a garage sale and know that there's money sitting in every single shelf somewhere in each category of the store. So I wanted to learn and do it all. And
Charles is he gets stir crazy. He can't sit.
No, so for too long. I wanted to demolish the whole store for 3 hours and get every single product that had money in it. And I never got to the point of really truly knowing any one category. And so I then just hit the brakes and told myself what Trista just said, which is just stop, pick one category, get really good at it, and then you can start to add in these other categories. So I start with electronics, video games, the kind of stuff that I love, because with the things you have passion for, you're typically going to know more about than the average person.
Yeah.
So if you know high-end clothing, if you know video games and electronics, if you know the vintage glassware and antiques and stuff like that, start with what you know. Get really good at that. Do research. Spend hours looking at sold comps within the niche that you want to learn. And you'll be amazed at some of the stuff that you'll find. I never knew the 1988 Ninja Turtles sold for so much if they're new in the box. So when I found them, I bought them for about $400, sold the whole set for $900. I never would have known that a couple years ago because I was only selling electronics 2 years ago. I didn't even know vintage toys. And then once I got really good at electronics and came up with a system for sourcing those and listing those and shipping those, I then started to venture into the collectibles category as far as vintage action figures and toys goes. Now I've sold lunch boxes for $400. I've sold $900 action figure. I never would have.
Makes me crack up a little bit.
I never would have thought about that stuff 2 years ago.
Really.
So focus on one category at a time. Get really good at it, because a jack of all trades is a master of nothing. And I've learned that more and more every single year because I love to be a jack of all trades. I love to know a little bit about everything, and I'm learning that worked until a certain point. And now we're at a point where if we really want to scale to the 7-figure level, because 6 figures is not hard to do. I think anyone, even as a side hustle, we know so many people that even as a little side hustle can pull off 6 figures with a family life, a work life, and their side hustle. 6 figures is not hard to do. If you can,
I wouldn't say it's not hard. It's attainable.
it's
a lot of work.
It's hard to find the right wording for it. It's
Yeah.
like if you figure out how to make $1,000 a month,
yeah, that's true.
You can make $5,000. It's just a matter of how can I spend more money now
and do the same thing.
And if you figure out how to make $5,000, $10,000 is not that much harder to do. It's just, okay, how can I then spend more money on inventory? Mm-hmm. Then you have to come up with how can I get more inventory? How can I spend more? It's just a numbers game, right? So that's I'm going to get so much flack for this because I know people are like, you said reselling is not hard. It's like, no, being consistent is hard. Okay. The numbers game and the buy low, sell high methodology behind this business is not difficult. It's a very simple business model. So that's what I'm referring to when I say it's easy. So loud. It's the consistency, the grind, the dealing with the dark mental side of this game that we choose to play. That's where it gets to be tough. That's the hard part. But the business itself is not a hard thing to do. Mm-hmm. It's just how much more can you spend. So if you want to get to that point where you want to make 6 figures, like you can do that just by selling in all these categories and splitting your attention and your focus, which is what I did, right? Trista's been way better at just focusing on her lane. I've been the one that's like squirrel syndrome over here selling everything. Because you guys have seen me hop, like I've been all shoes for so many months and then I'll go all electronics and then I'm all toys. Like I've done it all, which got us to 6 figures. But I know that to get to an efficient standpoint, it's like,
hi, Dad.
Going to be on daddy's time. But I know to be on the complete efficient standpoint and scaling to a 7-figure level or even multiple 6 figures, that's going to take focus on 1 or 2 categories. Not focusing on all of them.
I was focusing on
what are you
that
focusing on?
Right
you just
now.
like this thing, don't you? What is
that? Yes. So I'm going to question about. We have $100 Amazon gift card. Is a lighting kit a good investment to improve our photo quality? I would say that. I mean, if you have the extra, yes. Put it toward making your photo outcome better. I think that people underestimate the photos. The photo is like that like snapshot that either grabs the buyer's attention or it doesn't. So with that being said, though, if it sounds like you have the extra, $100, yes, definitely buy the lighting kit and make your photos as good as you can make them. But if you're just getting started and you have no money to throw at this beyond buying the actual product, just make sure you have good lighting in a good window and work with what you have. It always cracks me up, like when I'm looking at comps, not that you should do this, but I'll see like the same comp that I'll look at comps and see like somebody's got these shoes on a dirty carpet with like, photos that I would never take pictures like that and put them on eBay and they still sell. So photos, not everything obviously, but do the best that you can. And it sounds like you have the extra $100. You'd either spend it on your photo booth or extra lighting and make your photos really good, or you just spend it on random garbage you don't probably need on Amazon. So I would say buy the lighting kit.
I love that Arthur uses a white t-shirt for a white background.
Yeah.
You guys don't need to go fancy.
Yeah. I would say lighting is key, and I cannot tell you how many lighting kits we've gone through, and daylight is still the best. We unfortunately live. Oh, thanks.
She's snuggling.
We unfortunately live in Oregon where it is overcast all the time. And so even when we have good daylight, it's not great. It's not sunny or good lighting. Ow.
Smack.
So, yeah, I would say that I lost my track. I lost my focus. But anyway.
She smacked you. That's
she
why.
hit me. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely Beaverton has that problem. We're just south of you. We're over in McMinnville.
Yeah.
I'm actually in Beaverton quite a bit.
But I have a new photo box that's been the best so far.
I love
it.
that
It
thing.
was so expensive though. No, my photo
Oh,
box.
Hers was way more expensive. I got the Amazon Basics photo booth just for like standard items. It was like $135, which is an investment, especially if you're just now starting. But it's been great. Then the other option we were using for several years before that was a big white backdrop with super fancy lights.
I've used everything though. I like using white shower curtains because I feel like it bounces the light better. I don't know why. I've used the it's not cardboard, but it is kind of from Dollar Tree. It's like
poster board.
It's like poster board, but it's like a 1/4 inch thick or 18 inch thick. And I've made, like, if you use the tape on the outside, I've made photo boxes that way. Mommy. Yeah, I mean, there are lots of ways to get around the expense, the initial startup expense. So don't let that stop you.
And keep in mind, anything you're buying for your business
is a tax write-off. Yep.
Talk to your CPA.
She knocked the words right out of me. Yeah. All right, you guys. I think we gotta go. But
wild.
Yeah, she's getting wily. Hi. But thanks for coming and joining.
Welcome back. We will be scheduling every Tuesday, 5 p.m. Pacific time.
Yeah.
And we'll do a post inside of the little community tab underneath YouTube. Now we can do actual posts, photos, polls, that kind of stuff. So if we have, for some reason, we won't be able to do a show, we'll let you guys know. And if you are not tuned in, look up the Side Hustle Network on Instagram. That's more of like our daily vlog behind the scenes. We do a lot of stories mode posting over there. YouTube, we're starting to get back into like uploading videos and doing vlogs again. I am in the process right now of hiring an actual videographer to like literally just come to the office and record. Some of our best content has never been recorded because the most candid moments between like us and our employee Ryan and just the daily stuff happens. It happens. And then I don't want to like, hold on, do it again. I got to take my camera out for the YouTube. I hate carrying my camera around with me and like having to constantly stop and record. So I'd rather just hire somebody to basically be a D-Rock. So we're working on doing that, get you guys some more content. Then as always, if you guys have any requests on videos you would like us to do, whether it's about Amazon FBA tutorials, vlog style, Trista's got knowledge in like the Poshmark and the clothing side, the work-life balance with juggling almost a 9-month-old and a 5-year-old and the whole business life. It's a lot of stuff we can talk about. So if you guys have any requests, you can always just ping us and let us know. But aside from that, thanks for tuning in. We appreciate it.
Yay.
Isla says hi.
Isla says hi.
Say bye. What?
All right.
All right, guys. Have an amazing night. We'll see you next week.
Bye.